Let's catch up with some other corporate news. Intelligent Monitoring Group will step into the UK market in a major expansion deal, acquiring ADT's residential security business. The move expected to increase IMG's recurring revenue by 12.5 million per month and lift EBITDA by up to 300%. That has sent the stock higher today. Let's get the detail. And we're joined by IMG's Managing Director, Dennison Hambling. Dennison, welcome back to you. You have been on the acquisition trail. Talk us through this deal, why the UK, what it brings to your company.
No, thank you. And look, I think to your point, it sort of culminates a very busy 18-month sort of period where we had the wormhole business, which we're on recently to talk about, which settled but was, actually put in place in December, through to this transaction, both from the same counterparty being Johnson Controls, and culminates a lot of work to get to this point, to give us a really strong base. So, yeah, very excited. ADT UK, the UK is one of the biggest security markets, resident security markets in the world. Very established market, very established business in ADT, the leading brand for decades up there. Very financially attractive for us, but a starting position which allows us to start to replicate what we've been beginning to do down in Australasia, in Australia and New Zealand, with our sort of advanced AI camera security perimeter monitoring systems. So a great day for us.
How fast is that market in the UK growing, Dennison? In particular, we often hear news that crime in the UK, there is a significant and growing problem there. Does that feed into the need and demand for greater security?
Absolutely. So look, the underlying system growth has been about 6 to 8% per annum for the last decade, and it's forecast to continue at least that rate through, and certainly in these conditions. I mean, in a way, the UK feels like a big version of Victoria when I compare the stats around growth. And so, clear demand, but also in Australia and New Zealand, as people are becoming increasingly concerned about security and protecting their assets. So for us, it's an existing market. The path to market is consistent, well trod. The challenge for us, or the opportunity really, is to take ADT, which has been owned by a large multinational corporation, as a very small part of their overall portfolio for a long time, and actually injecting some life and beat back into it. It's been a very stable and modestly growing business over the last couple of years, but it hasn't been matching system growth. We hope that, under our ownership and focus, that we'll be able to at least get it back to system growth moving forward. And then ultimately, the real plan and the goal opportunity here is to, again, take security from the internal intrusion alarms, so somebody being in your property, inside your property, to putting security on the perimeter and stopping people from actually, hopefully enacting the crime and or deterring them and or catching them with the police. So we think we can accelerate past system growth over the course of the next 12 to 24 months once we get into it.
So, Dennison, you've got a significant presence obviously here in Australia, New Zealand, now that foothold in the UK. Can you give us greater detail of what your overall global expansion strategy is? What do you hope to achieve? I guess particularly this is a rapidly moving market, certainly as far as technology developments are concerned.
Yeah, look, truthfully, it's been very opportunistic. So we started the journey in 2023 when we got ADT Pacific, which became ADT Australia and New Zealand. We've learnt that brand, and then as part of JCI also looking to clean up their portfolio, we've been able to take advantage of this. I think it'd be too grand at this stage to say we have a global sort of strategy. We're opportunistically looking where we can get scale to apply the technology and the lessons we've learned here into increasingly big markets. I wouldn't say it's a land grab situation, but it's a little akin to that. So this was a unique, highly accretive opportunity to get a excellent brand, excellently regarded brand with existing customer base and add value to it. Would we do more of that? Yes, probably down the track. But I think after the sort of period we've had in the last 12 months, we're looking to really consolidate and prove up what it is we've been doing and build this into a great Australian listed industrial business with good solid growth.
So you're acquiring scale. How's that boosting your recurring revenue?
Yeah, it's a huge boost. So the ADT UK business is 92% recurring revenue. So in our overall portfolio, that lifts IMG Group to about 71, 72% of our revenue is recurring every year. And then on top of that, it's growth and retrofit work where customers want to upgrade and keep their technology consistent. So, one of the features, the really strong features of what we do is that we actually have very strong recurring revenue that leads to very strong cash flows that allows us to build the balance sheet in the business the way that we have.
And Dennison, how are you funding this deal?
Yeah, so the deal's fully debt funded with a vendor consideration here. And so we've got Aries taking on, we are refinancing the entire balance sheet. We're taking $155 million new facility to fund the acquisition here, and we're refinancing our current facility with $150 million Aussie. So the total package is about 448. As part of the sale, Johnson Controls, who are the owner of ADT, priorly requested and wished to have a stake in IMG Group, so they are joining our register with a shareholding of around 15%. The price will be determined on the price set just on completion, and that will bring them on to become essentially a long-term strategic shareholder to us. That was something they wanted as part of the deal, not necessarily something we needed nor sought, but I think is a really strong endorsement from them, having seen us interact with their businesses over the last few years as we pick them up as to what they think we can achieve here. So fully funded, no equity raising, no desire to raise equity, frankly, not at these prices or at this time. A clear strategy to generate cash profit, on a highly incremental deal.